Yesterday, the Supreme Court agreed to hear you-know-whose case for total presidential immunity from prosecution. It has halted proceedings in the election interference case against him, and it's getting mixed reviews out of D.C. What a shocker.
Well, 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 look what we have here. Whoopi Goldberg is upset about something that has to do with Donald Trump. Say it isn't so. These women never cease to amaze me. They come up with more conspiracy theories than anyone I know. Whoopi is not happy that the Supreme Court is going to take up the presidential immunity case for Donald Trump. She's against them even hearing the case, but she's more against that they won't have hearings until the end of April. And The View feels, oh no, that's not good for Joe Biden, so Joe needs to do something quick. Well, guess what they want Joe Biden to do?
Well, the Supreme Court won't hear oral arguments until the end of April. Now, let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything. Yeah. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, he could. I mean,
Actually,
no. This is not
because
a good
he would
thing.
be immune.
Because he'd have total. He could go. What this means is he could do anything.
Yeah.
He could dismiss everybody's debt.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole bunch of great stuff that could happen, but let's really look at what this means.
Yeah.
So they're basically kicking the can down the road, though. They're not taking up this case immediately.
Right.
So what's their motivation then? If we all know that they can't do what you just said because of the extreme power that a president would have, what is their motivation for not doing it right away?
Well, unfortunately, some people are saying the motivation is that there are certain conservative justices that have been appointed by Trump that want to help him. And because we know the end result is if this case is not resolved by the time of the election, and he, God forbid, becomes the president of the United States,
Poo-poo.
The Justice Department policy is that you cannot indict nor put on trial a sitting president, right? And so it's his get out of jail.
He could throw him in jail.
But it's his get out of jail free card.
No, I'm saying Biden could throw.
Yeah,
See,
Biden
this
could
is
do
a
that.
slippery slope because if they give him this immunity,
what's good for the goose
What I also will say is they're listening to these arguments in April. The end of their term is in June, right? They return again, I believe, in October. The Bush v. Gore case happened real quick. Do you remember that? The Supreme Court knows how to work real fast.
That was the day democracy died.
Well, it was certainly an injustice to many people.
It's on its way.
I think that we shouldn't worry that this is not going to happen quickly, because we know that they can. And I also think that Justice Roberts knows that the Supreme Court approval rating is at an all-time low. And he understands that, and he wants to protect the reputation of this court.
Now, I say this every time I talk about these people. There is no way that they are not getting paid by some Democratic source, be it the DNC, be it a billionaire Democrat funder, if you will, maybe a George Soros or a Bill Gates, just to name a couple. But they are so displeased that the case is going to be heard by the Supreme Court that they believe Joe Biden can do a few things, because after all, they will not have hearings until the end of April. And you heard Whoopi say it. Joe Biden can put all the Republicans in jail. Not some, not one, but all. And you hear the other ones cackling, yup. This is a TV show that talks about democracy. They say Trump is going to kill our democracy, take away all our rights, and become a dictator. But these windbags are believing that Joe Biden, in order to keep himself in office, should put all the Republicans in jail. Isn't that wonderful? Okay? Imagine, if you will, a conservative talk show host saying something like, Donald Trump should put all the Democrats in jail. The show would probably be canceled. But in 2024, the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives, whatever you want to call them, they can say whatever they want, and it's okay. Well, I'm not okay with it. I think it's bullshit, quite frankly, that they are allowed to spew so much hate every time they're on the air. But Whoopi also said that Biden could dismiss everyone's debt. That would be a good thing. Didn't Joe Biden just dismiss billions of dollars in student loan debt that the American taxpayer is somehow, some way going to have to make up for? Absolutely. He had no authority to do that, but he found a way around it so he could make sure all the snowflakes, all the crybabies, all the kids who have anxiety and depression and phobias don't have to pay back their student loans, because quite frankly, they're going to college and they're not learning anything but how to hate a certain group of people, how to protest against certain things. They're not learning anything. They're learning no job skills. They're learning how to be protesters. That's what colleges are teaching today. And Joe Biden is making sure, because of that, because these colleges are doing the Democratic thing, if you will, he doesn't want them to have to pay for their student debt. Isn't that wonderful? But Whoopi wants everyone's debt dismissed. Hers, Behar's, Hostin's, everyone's. But I'm pretty sure anybody who leans conservative would never be included in a debt dismissal. But then you see Big Red. She wants to know what the motivation is. What is the Supreme Court's motivation not to hurry this up? What are they waiting for? And one of my favorites, Sonny Hostin, had to chime in, because it's her belief that their motive is the justices on the Supreme Court want to help Trump. They basically want to make sure that Trump wins the White House, because the View believes that because we have conservative justices on the Supreme Court appointed by Trump, that they're going to go against the law that they swore an oath to uphold, and they're going to make sure Trump is able to win the presidency again. But if you have half a brain, you know that's ridiculous. But the View doesn't believe it. They want to make sure that Donald Trump does not get in the White House, no matter what it takes. And then you heard right at the end of the clip, Biden could put Trump in jail. Well, why would Biden put Trump in jail? For what? For what? The January 6th insurrection? Oh, that was worse than 9/11, according to Kamala Harris, or at least on the same level as 9/11. She said it. Look it up. It's on the internet. The way our country is going right now, it doesn't matter who is president, as far as I'm concerned, because our country has been destroyed. Barack Obama started it, and for 8 years, he brought all the destruction, kept it going, started the police defund movement, started the all police are racist, blacks are hurting, minorities are suffering. That all started with Barack Obama. You remember him, his wife Michelle, the oppressed ones who have a $13 million estate on Martha's Vineyard? Yeah, those two. And then Trump threw a stick in their spokes because he beat Hillary Clinton. And for 4 years, we were on the path to prosperity. We were successful. Jobs, people had money. There were no wars. The American soldiers were not fighting in any foreign countries for 4 years. And then, lo and behold, Joe Biden gets over 80 million votes and becomes the president, and he picked up right where Barack Obama left off. And today, in March of 2024, we all see where this country is going. Our military is all over the world right now. They're fighting in wars or helping other countries fight wars being funded by the American taxpayer, but The View doesn't care about that. They don't care about the safety and well-being of the U.S. military. They hate Donald Trump. They hate him because he speaks his mind. He's not a spineless man who's afraid to say what he thinks, like Joe Biden. Joe Biden mumbles and bumbles his way through every day, and look where we are. We are in trouble. And it's talk shows like The View pushing the propaganda of the liberal left, progressives, Democrats, whatever you want to call them. I like to call them the weak wokeness people, because that's what they are. They're woke, they're weak, they're spineless, and they're afraid to stand up for what is right. And what is right is saving our country, stopping the invasion of illegal immigration that Joe Biden is allowing. But these people do not care. They have one goal and one goal only, and that's the entire Democratic Party, to make sure Donald Trump doesn't get reelected so he can fix this mess, or hopefully try to fix this mess that these Democrats have created. The Democrats want to continue our downfall, and today I say this also, I don't know what their end game is or why they would want to do this to the United States, but they're doing it because everyday Americans see it. They care about the wealthy, they care about themselves, and they love millions and millions of illegals coming into this country to do God knows what. And that's a dangerous thing to happen. And the Democrats don't care. And those windbags on The View, again, are getting paid to push liberal Democrat pop propaganda because they hate Donald Trump. Because he speaks his mind, he speaks the truth, and he wants to save this country. And they are against it. And it needs to stop. And again, if a conservative talk show was talking that shit about Democrats, the show would probably be taken off the air. Now, this is all my opinion, but if you go on the internet and just do some research, you will see all the damage that these Democrats have done to our country just in the last 4 years, never mind when Obama was in the White House for 8 years. So again, it remains to be seen. Is SCOTUS going to help Trump? Are they going to rule? Are they going to wait? We're going to have to wait and see. But these people wanting Biden to jail all the Republicans, or at least jail Donald Trump, is so ridiculous that I can't even believe that they actually say this on TV, that they can look at themselves in the mirror, because they don't realize what they're actually doing. They're not helping this country. They're making it worse by pushing the agenda of the Democrat Party.